Imagine the exact moment electricity stopped being, just a carnival trick at the World's Fair. People would line up just to stare at a glowing glass bulb. And then it started being the invisible force that simply ran the refrigerator in your kitchen.
Which is a completely massive shift in how a society operates.
It changes absolutely everything.
Welcome to episode 512 of AI Brief. I am Amin, and joining me to take a deep dive into the moment artificial intelligence crosses that exact same threshold is Leah.
I am very glad to be diving into this one with you.
Over the next few minutes, we are going to explore a massive shift in the tech landscape. We will unpack Google I/O's aggressive strategy to turn Gemini into an everywhere agentic engine. Plus, we will look at their major push into intelligent eyewear.
And we are breaking down some genuinely staggering personnel shifts across the industry today.
We will finish up with the top AI tools you can combine right now to instantly boost your daily productivity. The underlying current connecting all these updates is a fundamental transformation in our relationship with this technology. For years, AI was trapped inside a chat box. You had to actively go to it, type a prompt, wait for a response.
But the developments rolling out today reverse that dynamic entirely?
They really do. The intelligence is now coming to you. We are officially moving past the era of the chatbot to become an active, persistent participant operating quietly in the background of your life.
That concept of the background participant is a perfect lens for viewing the core theme of Google I/O. The strategy on display was incredibly focused. I mean, Google is engineering Gemini to be capable, blazing fast, and remarkably cheap.
All with a single goal of making it live natively wherever you already spend your digital life.
They unleashed a massive wave of software drops to make this happen, and we need to unpack the mechanics of what these actually do. First, there is Gemini Omni.
Which has the fascinating ability to take text, images, audio, or video as an input and seamlessly generate a video output.
But what really stands out is Google's incredibly quirky internal descriptor for this technology. They are calling it the nano banana for video.
It is a completely absurd code name.
Yeah.
But the mechanism behind it represents a serious architectural leap.
Because historically, models had to translate video or audio into text first, process that text, and then translate it back.
By moving to an inherently multimodal system, Omni understands the physics, the audio tone, and the visual context directly. It skips the text translation bottleneck entirely, which is what allows it to generate video outputs so fluidly.
That makes total sense. But then we have the new Gemini 3.5 family kicking off with Flash. And this is where I have to push back on the hype a little bit.
How come?
Well, Google is boasting that this model hits 4 times the speed of previous iterations at half the cost. And it is nearing the performance of rival frontier models like Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5 across various benchmarks.
But if it is not actually beating those top-tier models on raw intelligence, why is this such a monumental update?
That is the big question. Why would you want a faster but potentially less capable agent running your workspace?
The answer lies in the friction of human habits. While Gemini 3.5 Flash might not completely obliterate the competition on a pure technical benchmark, it actually does not need to.
Because delivering near-frontier capabilities seamlessly inside the tools that millions of people already use every day is a colossal strategic advantage.
Think about the physical cost of context switching. Every time you have to leave a Google Doc, open a new tab, log into a standalone AI platform, run your analysis, and paste it back to your workflow stalls.
So if an agent can process your massive data sets at 4 times the speed and do it directly inside the document you are already working on, the raw capability gap between models becomes secondary.
Users will almost always choose the path of least resistance. You sacrifice a tiny percentage of raw brainpower to gain zero friction.
That perfectly sets up what feels like the real paradigm shift here. Gemini Spark rolling out alongside Antigravity 2.0. Spark is a 24/7 personal agent.
But the crucial detail is that it does not just live in an app on your phone.
It runs continuously on Google Cloud virtual machines, meaning it can execute agentic actions across your workspace, your Chrome browser, your email, and chats, even when you are entirely disconnected.
The mechanism of the cloud virtual machine is what makes this revolutionary. A virtual machine means the AI is operating on a high-powered server farm remotely.
It is not draining your laptop battery or relying on your local processor.
Because it lives persistently in the cloud, it can monitor an incoming email, cross-reference it with a spreadsheet, and draft a reply at 3 in the morning while your laptop is closed and in your backpack.
Add in the biggest redesign to Google Search in a generation, bringing those cross-modal inputs, generative user interfaces that create custom layouts on the fly, depending on what you ask.
And those same 24/7 info agents.
They also rolled out Gemini for Science, Street View simulations, and the Synthid AI watermarking system. When you look at this overarching strategy, it is exactly like building a massive public utility grid.
You do not think about the power plant generating the electricity. You just plug in your toaster.
Google wants Gemini to be the invisible current powering your inbox and docs, not a standalone power plant you have to visit. It strongly suggests that sheer convenience and normie-friendly integration will absolutely beat out the raw power of a standalone model.
History proves that out repeatedly. When technology transitions from being an active chore that requires deliberate engagement to a passive utility embedded in your environment, adoption scales exponentially.
Taking those digital agents and putting them out into the physical world is the natural next step for that embedded utility. This brings us to Google's physical deployment strategy.
Their aggressive push into intelligent eyewear.
Shipping this fall, they are releasing voice-first audio frames in partnership with Warby Parker and Gentle Monster,
with Samsung handling the hardware manufacturing.
These glasses pair directly with your iOS or Android phone. They utilize Gemini for voice commands, navigation, messaging, live translation, and taking photos.
Complete with that nano banana editing capability built right in.
You trigger the AI simply by saying, "Hey Google," or tapping the side of the frame. They are also teasing Project Aura with X-Real, which will be a display-equipped Android XR headset for interactive video and content, though that is further down the pipeline.
Positioning this move is crucial because it is Google's direct answer to the Meta Ray-Bans. But starting with an audio-first approach is highly calculated.
Technically, they are entering the arena a step behind, given that their rivals already offer screen-equipped options.
However, Google learned a painful lesson from the original Google Glass a decade ago. Visible screens and glowing cameras create massive social friction.
Audio frames hidden inside stylish Warby Parker designs bypass that social stigma entirely.
Furthermore, the hardware itself is only the delivery mechanism. The real draw for consumers is the allure of tying their physical experiences into that incredibly sticky Google ecosystem.
If your glasses can seamlessly interface with the 24/7 Gemini Spark agent managing your inbox and calendar, the lack of a visual display becomes a deliberate trade-off.
A trade-off for deeper, invisible integration into your existing digital life.
That deeply integrated ecosystem strategy becomes even clearer when you zoom out and look at how these massive companies position themselves within the broader tech landscape. The industry is currently operating in a fascinating state of competitive entanglement.
The lines between fierce rivals, financial investors, and technical collaborators have blurred entirely.
Let us bridge over to the rest of the major movements shaping the industry today to see exactly how tangled this web has become.
Taking a measured look at the landscape reveals just how interconnected the major players truly are. I mean, Andrej Karpathy, the OpenAI co-founder and former AI lead at Tesla, has officially joined Anthropic.
Oh, wow. That is a massive move.
It really is. He is stepping in to build a brand new pre-training unit utilizing Claude. The goal is to use their own model to accelerate the foundational research that gives Claude its core capabilities. But the context surrounding this move highlights a fascinating financial web.
Because Google is heavily involved there, too.
Definitely. Demis Hassabis, the head of Google DeepMind, was actually an early angel investor in Anthropic. Furthermore, Google as a corporation has invested billions of dollars into Anthropic.
Despite Anthropic being a direct competitor to Gemini, it is so entangled.
Extremely. And on the technical side, Anthropic is rolling out advanced sandboxes and MCP tunnels to their Claude-managed agents. Think of an MCP tunnel like a highly secure private subway line.
So it keeps things off the public internet.
Precisely. It allows the AI to travel deep into a company's internal servers to do work like organizing financial records without ever surfacing to the public web. Normally, connecting an AI to an internal database opens a dangerous door to outside threats.
These tunnels allow enterprise teams to execute tools safely.
And simultaneously, the research organization METR published its first frontier risk report. They shared factual findings demonstrating that agents from top laboratories can now autonomously finish multi-week engineering tasks.
That is impressive, but I imagine there are limitations.
There are. These same agents still struggle significantly when presented with hard-to-verify tasks. The mechanism behind this discrepancy is how the models check their own work. They excel at coding because code provides an immediate pass or fail error message.
You get an error, you rewrite it until it compiles.
But if you ask an AI to design a creative marketing strategy, there is no objective mathematical answer for it to verify against, causing the agent to stall. Now, in another striking example of industry crossover, OpenAI is actually adopting Google's synthad watermarking technology for images generated by ChatGPT.
Wait, OpenAI using Google Tech?
Yes, they are releasing this alongside a public verification tool to detect whether an image originated from their models. Meanwhile, Google is expanding its physical infrastructure footprint by forming a $5 billion joint AI cloud venture with Blackstone.
A $5 billion push by a private equity giant into foundational AI infrastructure.
And finally, on the creative front, a platform called Creatify just launched a fully autonomous creative agent. It handles the entire life cycle of ad production. You simply paste a product URL, and the agent researches competitors, generates the necessary video and images, and self-checks its own output to ensure quality.
Reflecting on that web of developments, the level of interconnectedness is staggering. You have OpenAI relying on Google's Synthid watermark to secure their own image generation. You have Google funneling billions into Anthropic, which is simultaneously scooping up OpenAI's co-founder.
They're all competing fiercely for dominance on the front end, while essentially building a shared, deeply entangled foundation on the back end to support the massive infrastructure requirements.
Now let us bring this down to the ground level, transitioning from high-level industry maneuvers to practical applications. We have a lineup of trending AI tools that leverage these exact advancements.
And we're going to look at how you can apply them to your own workflows today.
Starting with Gemini 3.5 Flash, because it offers 4 times the speed at half the price. Your practical use case here is massive data processing.
If you need to summarize hundreds of user reviews or analyze vast spreadsheets, this is the engine you use. It chews through data instantly without burning through your budget.
Next is Gemini Spark. The move here is to deploy this personal agent on a cloud virtual machine. Because it runs on a remote server, it does not rely on your laptop being open.
You can set it to manage your inbox, categorize emails, and execute routine workspace tasks 24/7.
It literally processes your administrative backlog while you sleep. Then there is Gemini Omni Flash. You can use this as a multimodal video editor simply by chatting with the model.
Instead of scrubbing through timelines and complex, intimidating editing software, you upload your raw footage and text prompts.
The model understands the visual context natively and can assemble and edit the video output for you based entirely on your conversation.
We also have Yeta. This tool completely solves the localization problem. You can take any YouTube video and use Yeta to dub it into multiple languages in seconds.
It allows you to instantly reach an international audience without dealing with the logistics of hiring voice actors or renting studio time. Next up is Crade. This is an AI that actually sees your screen.
You use it to help navigate and execute complex desktop workflows.
If you are stuck trying to format a complicated pivot table or trying to find a specific setting in a dense CRM system, Crade watches your screen and literally guides your mouse and keystrokes to get the job done.
For networking and hiring, there is Articuler. You simply describe your specific project goal or the problem you're trying to solve.
And the tool automatically searches, finds, and matches you with the right professional for the job, entirely bypassing the traditional tedious search process.
Finally, we have Motion. You use this to instantly generate explainer videos, launch assets, or logo animations tailored to perfectly fit into your existing marketing content.
All without needing a dedicated animator.
When you look at these tools individually, they offer great utility. But combining them creates a highly efficient, automated production pipeline. Consider how a modern marketing workflow could operate entirely through these agents.
You could start by pasting your product's URL into Creatify to have an agent autonomously research the market and build your core advertisement.
Once you have that base video, you run that asset through Motion to seamlessly append your customized logo animations and motion design elements.
Then you take that fully polished video and push it through Yeta to instantly dub the audio into multiple languages for global distribution.
What previously required an entire agency of strategists, video editors, animators, and translators can now be executed sequentially by linking these specific agents together.
As we wrap up this deep dive, there is a truly fascinating implication to consider about where this is all heading. With 24/7 agents like Gemini Spark moving onto cloud virtual machines to natively handle our tasks while our laptops are closed, we are entering an era of constant autonomous delegation.
The technology has shifted from something we actively prompt to a silent utility running in the background.
So the question becomes, how soon until your personal agent spends the vast majority of its time not interacting with you, but negotiating, scheduling, and problem solving directly with someone else's personal agent?
It fundamentally reshapes the concept of communication. Staying informed on the mechanics of these interconnected systems is the only way to ensure they are working for your benefit, rather than you simply adapting to the friction of theirs.
Make sure to follow and share the podcast so you never miss an update on the systems shaping our world. See you in the next episode.